there and welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, in this video we're going to be asking a particular question. The question is this: is the Aspidistra elatior, is it hardy enough to grow outside all year round here in the UK? Well, let's have a look, because I've had one outside all over this winter, down to -5 this year in particular, and it's still there in the pot. Let's see how it's done. Come on. Okay, well, before we start, let's give you a little bit of background information on the Aspidistra elatior. I was struggling to say that name. It's commonly known as the cast iron plant because it was a popular choice with the Victorians as a houseplant. And the reason why it was a popular choice is because in those smoke-filled dark houses without any central heating, it performed very well. And the reason why it performs very well is because it is indeed shade tolerant, it is indeed drought tolerant, it is indeed fairly cold tolerant, and it has been awarded by the RHS, the Royal Horticultural Society, no less, its award of garden merit. However, if you check the RHS website regarding Aspidistra, it will say no, this is not a garden plant, this is solely a house plant. It cannot go to temperatures below 0 degrees centigrade, but that's not strictly true. Where it grows in Japan, it will tolerate quite happily temperatures down to about -5 degrees centigrade, and some may say that it will take -10 degrees centigrade for short periods of time. In order to tolerate and overwinter with these freezing temperatures, the roots need to be kept on the dry. If you have your Aspidistra in cold or wet conditions, the roots will tend to give up the ghost and your plant will die. But this is good news, because the plant also requires fairly heavy shade. Keep it in too much sun and the leaves will bleach out, providing you an absolutely shocking specimen of an Aspidistra. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but just there, that is our Aspidistra, and that has been outside in its pot all year round. Let's take a closer look. Now that, you can't deny, that is a pretty handsome looking specimen. It's been out here all year round. Now, admittedly, it does have the protection of that bamboo and that willow there, and it has had the benefit of being in the pot, which does indeed help with its drainage. But look at that, -5 in the shade, looks absolutely wonderful. And last year we kept it in that greenhouse, again in the same pot, when temperatures went down to -7 to -8 degrees Celsius. So you can't tell me that foliage doesn't look absolutely amazing for a plant that's just been overwintered. In fact, the only damage that I can see on here is damage that have been caused by flipping slugs flying up and eating it. Little buggers, aren't they? So, to answer my own question, is the Aspidistra elatior hardy enough to overwinter outside in the UK? Well, the answer is yes, you can, but there are certain things you need to be aware of. It needs to be grown in the shade, and the benefit of that means that you can grow it under a large plant such as a tree, and because you're growing it under a tree, the roots of the tree will take out most of the moisture, providing you the necessary free draining soil. And if you haven't got free draining soil, leave it in a pot or plant it into a raised bed to make sure your soil is free draining, and it won't do any harm to mix a load of horticultural grit or gravel into the surrounding soil when you're planting outside, in order to ensure that drainage. So drainage is absolutely key when growing Aspidistra outside in your garden. So, according to the RHS's very own table of hardiness, the Aspidistra elatior is indeed winter hardy, unlike what it says on their own website, as in not remotely hardy. So it is genuinely hardy. I do see it planted around outside around here on the south coast of England. It survives year on year on year. And don't forget, when we had those harsh winter temperatures the year before last, when temperatures did go down to -7, -8 degrees, there was no damage on my Aspidistra, nor on the others that I saw. The only damage I do tend to see on garden grown Aspidistras is sun damage and scorch. So keep it in the shade, keep it well drained, and your Aspidistra will easily tolerate with temperatures below -5 degrees Celsius, and the proof's in the pudding, as I just showed you over there. Anyway, if I've missed anything, or if there's anything that you would also like to add, then please do so. Put those in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.